Hello student. Today we will solve the exercise of chapter number 4, that is the structure of the computer. Okay, I will upload the PDF also. With that you can copy the answers and submit the copy for the checking purpose. So the first questions under the short type questions we are having that what do you mean by the hardware? You know the physical component that we are able to see, so keyboard, mouse that you can touch and senses, that components are known as the hardware devices. Okay, and the software also I have explained. It's a set of instructions of the program that we need to follow to do a particular task. So software is basically made up of the programs. Okay. uh, Third question they have asked, so what are the different parts of the CPU? So CPU is actually made up of three main components, that is the storage unit, control unit and arithmetic logic unit. Okay, so what do you mean by primary storage? Primary storage or main memory are actually the same. Okay, so it is a component of the computer that holds data, program instructions that are currently using. Next is write down the full form of ROM. ROM stands for read only memory, RAM stands for random access memory, EEPROM stands for electrically erasable programmable read only memory, and EPROM stands for erasable programmable read only memory. Now the next question is cache memory. So this is also known as the CPU memory also. The cache memory stores the instructions that computer programs frequently call upon for the faster access during the operation. Since it is physically closer to the processor than the RAM, so it first places the CPU, looks the instructions over there. If the CPU finds the data it needs there, then the processor can bypass the more time consuming process of reading the RAM or the other storage. Okay, so who is known as the heart and mind of computer? So you can say CPU is known as the heart and memory is known as the mind of the computer. So what are the advantages of the memory? So you know that memory are actually allows the computer to read the data quickly and efficiently so that program can be efficiently run. Next is that it also stores the software required initially to boot the machines. It also stores that particular data. Okay, so as per the storage unit, memory compressors, there is a list of devices are given. You have to find out it which comes under which. So comes under this input device, keyboard and barcode, output device as line printer and storage, and under storage device we can get floppy disks and ventured disks. So next is why should you the dot matrix is called so. So dot matrices are actually an impact printer were introduced in 1970. They are called the matrix because they use the matrix of dots to bring each character. So that's why they are called dot. It is known as dot matrix printers. Okay. Why microcomputers are different from others? So microcomputers are generally considered the smallest and the most affordable, most reliable computer. So they can also maintain a very high processing speed as well as the sample internal and external storage capacity, unlike the others computer. Okay, so there is a difference between semiconductor and the magnetic core memory. So semiconductor memory is the faster, economically smaller in size and lighter, but magnetic memories are lower compared to that. Okay, semiconductors memory are consume less power, but the magnetic memory code that is consumes the more power. The core memory are distinguishable from the other memory by their much brighter glow. They are stored in the center of the headquarters. The core memories can be any form of any emotion, but release fast fights the yellow in color, and meaning that joy is one of the who helps to create the special memories. Okay, so what is input device? I'm not explaining it. What is output device? Just come to the difference between RAM and ROM. Okay, if you are concerning the data reduction, RAM is actually a volatile memory and ROM is a non-volatile memory. Okay, working type. So data stored in RAM can be retrieved and altered, but data stored in ROM cannot be do that. Cannot be altered. So it is used that data has to be currently processed by the CPU. It stores the instructions required. If you come on speed, it's having high speed. It is much smaller, costlier. Its RAM is very costlier, and ROM is much cheaper compared to this. Used in case of CPU, cache memory, primary memory, and the ROM is used for firmwares. Okay. Now next we are moving to the question that what you mean by the video is actually a visual display unit. Okay, video. And next is what do you mean by the mass storage unit? Okay, so the mass storage unit is, refers to the storage of large amount of data in persisting machine readable fashions. Okay, in general term, it is used for a larger in competences drives, but it has been used large relation to RAM and, for example, floppy disks. Okay, so what do you mean by disk pack? A storage device for a computer that consists of stack of magnetic disks mounted on a central hub and their removable protective cover that can be handled to store this unit. Okay. Now write the disadvantages of floppy disks. It is easy to damage. Access time of floppy disks is low. They have to handle more carefully. Floppies can be get affected by heat. Small storage capacity. Also limited capacity is there. Okay, so these are actually the disadvantage of using the floppy disks. Now come to the descriptive type question. First they have given the explain the organization of computer with the help of block diagram. So I have given the block diagram over here also. I have given in the class work also that I have designed a block diagram. So one by one, in case of block diagram, we will explain what are the components you are able to see. You are able to see first the central processing unit. So central processing unit is combinations of control unit, arithmetic logic unit, storage unit, and apart from that we are having input devices and output devices. So we have to explain all these components over here. Okay. Okay, now the next question they have given the write a notes on CPU, video and ALU. So CPU part of in the previous questions already is discussed. You will write about that part only. Now in case of video we are displaying. So video stands for the visual display unit. So there are different type of visual display unit is available. First is the liquid crystal display is there, that is LCD we are popularly known as. Okay, so the liquid crystals are the fluid material that have few of the optical properties of the crystal. A show made of liquid crystals act like a cluster of little shapes and transition square light. Okay, so LCD screens are there, and cathode ray tube is earlier used. The CRT monitors you are able to see the televisions and the computer, that it is very thick glass and vacuum tubes. Okay, so these are the CRT. Next is the plasma screen is there. This is a high resolution picture lighting up the thousand most dabs means pixel with a high energy of electrical glare. Okay, so these are generally used. um, Video pass is there, and ALU also over there. It is there you can use there are the advantage and disadvantage parts I have written also in ALU part. You can write. So next is what is the difference between primary memory and the secondary memory. Over here it is there. So as you can see, talked about the primary memory. If you talked about it, so primary memory, if you can consider, it means to solve the specific problem, and this one is not a specific problem. Okay, and primary memory is actually the main memory. If it doesn't have anything, then computer cannot work. Secondary means is for the uses for the extra storage purpose. If it doesn't have, then computer also can be run. Okay, so more sensitive more sensitive in nature, that is the primary memory. Okay, and this there are less sensitive in this there. Okay, many modes are there, you can have a look on it. Okay, so there is a external. About the next question is to explain the any kind of a external storage. Okay, so first we have the any one that we are made, so we will explain the compact disk. Okay, CD stands for the compact disk. So there are several versions of compact discs are available. That is CD read-only memory, that is CD-ROM. Next is CD recordable, that is CD-R is also there, and next is CD writable, that is CD-RW is also there. Okay. Thank you, student. I'm ending my lecture over here.